Welcome back to Project 613. Today we learn two mitzvot relating to lending money. The Torah tells us that we are obligated to lend money to our fellow if we are able to do so. This is known as Gemilus Chasadim, and this is in fact the highest level that there is in Gemilus Chasadim, in charity. Not giving charity to the poor, but actually helping someone before they reach that stage where they need to beg for charity, and instead lending them the money so they are able to get themselves on their own 2 feet. This, the Torah tells us, the verse says, Im kesef talva es ami, if you will lend money to my nation. And even though the Torah uses the word im, which is usually translated as if, our sages teach us that this is one of the times where the word im needs to be translated not as if you will lend money, but rather as when you will lend money. This is not an option, rather this is an obligation. We are obligated to lend money to our fellow if we are able to help them and they are in need. Of course, we're talking about an interest-free loan, as we're going to learn in the coming days, that the Torah prohibits taking interest on a loan. Now, Maimonides tells us that giving a loan is even greater than giving charity. Why? Because someone who has already come to the position where they are begging for charity, they are less bothered by the shame of having to ask. Whereas the person who is in the need of a loan, in addition to the financial assistance, he also has the shame, and that's why he's not begging. So by offering a loan, we are helping a person in 2 ways. Number one, we are helping them financially, and number two, we are saving them the experience of the shame of having to ask. Whereas the person who is already begging has already overcome that shame. So, of course, we're helping that person financially, but he has already reached the point where it doesn't bother him to ask. And this is one of the reasons why lending money before a person reaches this situation is considered much greater than offering charity to someone who is already coming and asking for a charitable gift. In Maimonides' Code of Law, he actually says that from all the different levels of charity, he counts 8 different levels of charity, and the very highest is giving a loan to someone so they can establish themselves on their own. This is the first mitzvah that we learned today. The second mitzvah that we learned today is that when we do give a loan, if we know that the person we lent the money to doesn't have the financial means to repay the loan, it is forbidden for us to press them, and it's forbidden for us to keep asking them to repay the loan if we know that they do not have the means to do so. Not only are we not allowed to ask them verbally, we are not even allowed to pass in front of their presence, because this will cause that individual shame. Of course, the person who borrowed the money has to do whatever he can to be able to repay. But from the lender's point of view, if he knows that the borrower doesn't have the means to repay, it's forbidden for him to keep pressing and to even show up and to shame the borrower. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.